Howdy! This project will cover how to be a beekeeper. We will discuss fundamental equipment and tools needed, components of the hive that is needed, where to find bees, and tips on finding the best location for the bees and the beekeeper.
All aspiring beekeepers should have the following: information on bee biology, the actual beehive, a safe and ideal location, which we will expand on, personal protective equipment, and lastly, commitment in time and interest. It's very important to have means of keeping bees healthy and clean. Otherwise, complications can occur and the entire hive would get sick and die.
When and how to start. Beekeeping can start any time of the year. However, for optimal success, the best time of the year is to start in early spring. This allows the bees a long period of warm weather to establish themselves.
There are things to gather before getting bees. You would need proper attire, a smoker, a hive tool, and the beehive itself.
Some key attire to handle bees safely would be to have a bee veil to protect your eyes and face, gloves, coveralls, and boots to protect your general body. You could make your own protective attire and not have to pay a lot of money for brand name beekeeping clothes. Just use sturdy clothes suitable for doing work around the house. Velcro is recommended for ease of removing and putting on the protective attire.
Bee smokers are used to help handle the bees and typically do not need any particular fuel source for the smoke, just what is readily available and convenient. Fuel doesn't make a difference when using a smoker. Any type of wood can be typically used.
You would need to examine bees and the hive at some point. Hive tools are useful for lifting frames in the beehives by acting as a pry bar and as a hook to pull up the frame.
An important aspect of beehives is the bee space built between the frames. However, too much space can result in the bees building excessive burr and brace comb. Another key thing is to be consistent with measurements, especially when buying from different manufacturers. When considering the color of the beehive, not all hives have to be uniformly white. You can paint the boxes different colors to differentiate the bees.
Bees can live virtually in any location with a wide variety of weather conditions. This includes both city and suburbs. The apiaries can be kept on roofs, porches, on elevated structures, or behind fencing and vegetation.
Beehives are typically made of wood, but plastic can also be used. The beehives consist of a series of boxes called hive bodies, each of which hold frames. The bottom board includes the beehive entrance, and the inner and outer covers complete the basic hive.
Hive stands are used to lift the colony boxes off of the ground. These can be individualized or made in long rows depending on the beekeeper preferences.
There are a lot of options in obtaining bees. You can transfer the bees from a larger and already established hive. You can also get packaged bees, which are bought and shipped to you. Another way is to capture a swarm, but is not recommended for beginner beekeepers. You can also just buy an established colony or nuclear colony.
There are two major types of honey you can harvest. One is liquid or extracted honey, which is easiest to produce but requires specialized and expensive equipment to spin the honey from the beeswax combs. The other is directly keeping the honey in the comb as a product. It requires less investment in equipment. However, this type of product has less to harvest and does not store well and is difficult to produce. There is also a combination form, which is called chunk honey. It is a piece of comb honey surrounded by liquid in a wide-mouthed jar.
The bees have optimal conditions for thriving in a new colony. Some things include having secluded areas away from traffic or human and animal disturbances, a location with morning sunlight, good water drainage, abundant flowering plants, of motoring nectar sources, etc.
A few examples of what would be easier for the beekeeper would be a location close and accessible from the beekeeper's home, as well as secluded in order to prevent disturbances and vandalism, planning ahead and making sure there is sufficient space to expand and manipulate the hives, having space for storing tools and bee equipment, etc.
This concludes our project on how to be a successful beekeeper. Thank you, Dr. Bess, for teaching us the ways. Thank you for watching our video project. These are our references.